Yeah, welcome race fans to another episode here at CRN. Tonight will be broadcasting the virtual velocity racing team, and they will be taking on Chicagoland here. So it's a 1.5 mile track, so it falls in that pretty good category. Mid-range, a lot of drivers like it. It's fast, it's furious. It's gonna be 110 laps here. Looks like the sun's going down and it's 73 degrees outside. Very light wind. This says 25% chance of rain, but no chance. So should be a good one here at Chicagoland. And as we get going here, we're getting ready for qualifying as the drivers are out to take the field. I'm Jimmy Culver, and I will be joined in the booth by my partner in crime, Carl Handwork, here just momentarily as he had something personal and need to take care of. But as we're talking about personal stuff, we have somebody that got a little older today. Let's see if we can find him. Better be on the track. Where's he at? Oh, sir. Maybe he took the night off? I don't know. I mean, I don't blame him if I took the night off. But John Garrett's birthday is here today. So we wanted to say happy birthday from CRN and everybody out there. As you've been flagged, man. Your boss came and told us, so you can't hide no longer. It's your birthday. You're another year older. Celebrate. Get your butt on track. Get some good laps in. Have a great race, just like you normally do. But right now we are under qualifying, and we'll go ahead and I'll bring up the tower here, kind of show you where everybody is running here so far here tonight. So we'll go by best time. We'll show that up here. Get rid of this other stuff. You don't want to see that. And right now it looks like Robert Warnes takes the provisional pole here temporarily, as we got a few minutes left here, as we got 5 minutes to qualify. There's going to be roughly 20 drivers out there tonight. I think maybe 20, 21. But it's a good size field, and they always put on a great show here at VVR. Obviously, some of the tracks that can be tricky. It always gives any driver a handful, but always still great racing, and it's always good to be out here in the booth and watching these drivers get it done here. But yeah, Robert Warren's still on top over Robert Kahn. Mike Hasty coming in third. Andrew Pileshi there in fourth. Len McNeese showing that number 84 so far in fifth. So we've got 2.5 minutes for those drivers to be knocked off that top five. We'll see if anybody can get it done. Ty Marasco coming close there, pulling a 30.506. Put him in sixth place, just under Len McNeese. Dalton Kelrow, we've seen him have a pretty decent run last race until, things happen. Found himself towards the back of the field. Just not having the season that I'm sure he would like to have, excuse me. But definitely still doing well for the majority of the time. Just sometimes luck doesn't go your way. And racing, obviously, the biggest, you need to have talent to go fast, but a little bit of luck, works sometimes as well. Allowing a few drivers to get their wins this season or up on the podium. Come talk to us up here in the booth. But it's always good to give a shout out to all the drivers, and actually, because without them on the track, I don't think we'd be up here in the booth. So anyways, we're gonna get back going here. We got about 30 seconds remaining of qualifying. You see the top 21 on the field. The only person not qualifying as of yet, and no surprise, the number 77 of Michael Pratt.
I feel shocked, Jimmy. I feel shocked.
Michael Pratt, he's had a few good runs. He hasn't been able to secure, that podium and that win this season yet. But we're only halfway, Carl. So there's plenty of more racing throughout the series.
Yeah, I think the one thing that kind of stands out for me that I think is really cool. I mean, we've seen, some domination maybe early on in the season by the two Robert Warnes, Robert Kahn. But I mean, 9 races in now, we have 7 different winners. I mean, for a series, it doesn't get much better than that. You don't have one person dominating the entire time. I mean, Andrew Pileshi comes in to tonight with an 8-point lead in the standings, kind of, lucked out there maybe at the end and was one of the survivors at Talladega and finished with a good enough finish to get him up there. And he's got an 8-point lead over Robert Warnes. Dalton Kilroe is 21 points back, and then Caldwell and Hasty for your top 5. And the last one that I mentioned, Mike Hasty, I feel like we don't hardly ever talk about him. Very, very seldom do we talk about him on the broadcast. And I couldn't tell you if and when we've got him in the booth. But he's 5th in points. No wins this season. He's got 4 top 5s out of the 9 races that he's run, 6 top 10s. So just kind of a quiet, just a quiet run, and he's doing what he's gonna do. But 72 of Mike Hasty up in 5th place in the points, and he's kind of the best of the rest, if you will, for drivers that are up there in points without a win. Eric Blunt in 7th place without a win, and then the birthday boy John Garrett back there in 8th place without a win this season. So there's a lot of good, talented drivers yet. You even look back further, Todd Merkel back there, Len McNeese can certainly pop off a win or two. Gordon Larson has shown some speed. Derek Paulson, obviously, we know what he can do. Ty Marasco leads just about every single race we see. Michael Pratt. I mean, there's so many guys out there that have yet to get a win. I mean, there's only been 9 races, so not everybody can get a win. But the fact that we have 7 different winners out of the 9 races, I love to see it. But we are all stacked up, ready to go here at Chicagoland Speedway. Jimmy, why don't you give us a rundown of that starting order tonight?
Yeah, quick rundown of the starting orders. We're getting ready to get underway here. Robert Warnes, Robert Kahn, front row. Mike Hasty, Andrew Pileshi, row number 2. Row number 3, Dalton Kilroe and Len McNeese. Row number 4, Tyler Hilton and Ty Marasco. Gordon Larson and Michael Taylor for row number 5. Row number 6 made up of Graham Conley and Maxwell Caldwell. Row number 7, Eric Blount and Brandon Muir. Row number 8 will be Hemi Gardini and Derek Paulson. Row number 9, Tim Lee and Chris Schuessler. And then rounding out the rest of the field for tonight will be Mike Rideout and Brian Rainville there on row number 10. And Michael Pratt making up a solo row of his own with no time. But we know that Michael can drive, and it's just a matter of time before he gets that 77. He gets that elusive back to the front win.
I thought I lost you there for a second. A little bit of packet loss on my side, but we're going to get ready to go racing here at Chicagoland. 110 laps on tap, and this is a fun one here. It's definitely a unique 1.5 mile tri-oval here in Joliet in Illinois, and it's unfortunately another one just like Auto Club that is going by the wayside. We'll get a little bit more into that as the race goes on. Pace car is off. We are ready for some racing action. Barney's waving that green flag, and we are off for 110 laps here at Chicagoland in the Midwest. Good start here from the field. Good sized field out here once again as well. 21 cars, and it's actually 22 cars out here in attendance tonight.
Yeah, decent sized field. Probably obviously some guys out there. You don't see the birthday boy out there, so he must be celebrating elsewhere. But we can't forget about him, as we only get those days, that one day a year to kind of to celebrate when you were born. So, but right now these drivers doing a great job so far. A nice lead there by the leader of Robert Warren so far for lap number 1.
Jimmy, I feel like I'm in that point in my life where I'm past the having fun on birthdays. Now I'm just dreading it because I'm a year older. I'm not quite to the point where I'm old enough that I'm happy that it's another birthday. So I'm kind of in the middle, in that mid zone. I'm 25 for the 16th year in a row. Whatever it is. But either way, good battle up front here with Ty Marasco on the outside, and on the inside is the 71 of Graham Connolly out here in 8th and 9th position. Side by side through a lot of the rest of the field, and got some new paint schemes out there as well. I see a couple new ones out there. I think the 17 there is a newer paint scheme for him and Gherardini. If not, it's really shining nicely under the lights here. Those that splitter is kind of really setting it off.
Yeah, Hemi seems to go through a fair amount of liveries. I think he's one of those drivers that just loves to paint his car. As He's been getting caught up though, so just maybe trying to change his luck, get something that works, and gotta look, you gotta look good to go fast. So, but maybe the last few paints are just getting too much attention, and drivers are just driving into him. So, a little bad luck there from Hemi Gardini this season so far, but it's had some signs of some great runs, like something starting to develop. It just kind of gets caught up, but we'll go back up the front here as Tyler Hilton is down on that outside of Andrew Pileshi, trying to get around him. So going too wide here pretty early here at Chicagoland.
Yeah, so far so good. Dalton Kilroad leads the way as we got a battle right here for third position. Tyler Hilton gonna grab at that spot, and certainly Tyler Hilton coming off a nice little run last week where, I mean, again, it's Talladega. You got to survive, but he was at the right spot at the right time and pointing the right direction, I guess, question mark. As, if you haven't seen it, it's certainly worth watching the last lap on that one, but Tyler Hilton getting the win sideways across the line, and literally, I mean, I've seen bump drafting before, but that was a little ridiculous. I've never seen a guy get bump drafted by, I think, 3 cars going across the line, but it was enough to get the win, and became our 7th ever winner here on the series. We got the race here tonight at Chicagoland, an off week next week, and then we got a nice little gauntlet coming up with Michigan. Love it, love every bit of it. Indianapolis, that'll be a fun one, usually is, and then Texas before we have our summer break. But it's been a good start to this season. 10th race here tonight out of 22 this season. So yeah, there's so much that's gone on. There's so much that can still go on, but I'll tell you what, Jimmy, it's a shame. I feel like there's so many good tracks that just for some reason fans don't enjoy, fans don't come to see, whatever the case is. We've seen it with Auto Club Speedway. I mean, absolute dream of a track, just like Michigan, putting on such great races, 3, 4, 5 wide, at least virtually. Maybe I'm not remembering how they did in the actual NASCAR, but I mean, fantastic racing here virtually, but unfortunately sold off to developers and is now basically warehouses. And in 2019 was the last race here at Chicagoland Speedway, and unfortunately, again, the word on the street is it's being talked about for kind of the same situation, being sold off to development, and maybe going to be going the same route as the Auto Club Speedway. But there's still some racing here and some events at the local dirt track, and anything from monster trucks to some demo derbies, things like that. So they at least got a little bit of motorsports action out here yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, obviously racing's, I mean, there's a lot of fans out there, obviously, but it's just getting them to go to all these different tracks, It's not, every track's not Daytona or Talladega, the big ones where everybody likes to go to. It's, so you get these tracks, they're just kind of out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, kind of like Pocono. I mean, Pocono is like, if you've ever been to Pocono, that track is, it's out there by itself. Look, way out there. So it's definitely, I mean, it's a beautiful track. It's a lot of fun to go to for the live events and all the other racing that they do there. And obviously a very unique, very long track. Some would say it's a super speedway, but with its unique corners, it doesn't quite categorize into that. You can't hold it full throttle all the way around for sure. I mean, yeah,
it's a 2.5 mile track, just like Talladega and Daytona. But I mean, you think of Talladega, Daytona, iconic, absolutely, no question about it. But like you say, I mean, Pocono, obviously, my home track here, the closest one to me. You're literally you're driving through trees. You're driving, it's down, quote unquote highway, but it's tree line on both sides. And oh hey, there's a racetrack. And it just kind of pops out of nowhere, and it's one of the biggest ones on the NASCAR schedule by size. It shouldn't happen that way, but it's just the way it is. There's a plot of land. Let's put a track here. It is what it is. But
you were almost dead middle in between Pocono and Dover, correct?
Yes. Yep. Yep.
I've been to Dover. All the Monster Mile is another wickedly insane track. There's not a bad seat in a house on that. It's like a soup bowl.
Yeah, I'm a little bit further to Delaware, probably about maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours away from Delaware. But yeah, I've heard all kinds of good things about Delaware. I mean, about Dover and how good of a race it puts on all the time. And yeah, it's the Monster Mile. It's one of the biggest concrete tracks out there. You got the Nashville Super Speedway. You got Bristol, but Dover definitely known for the concrete racing there. And I mean, heck, I grew up obviously watching NASCAR, but I grew up going to the horse track as well. And there's not, I don't think there's any other NASCAR track that has a horse track in the inside of it. No. Delaware Downs, or Dover Downs. But anyway, back to the racing action here on this track. Yeah, Tyler Hilton has taken the lead from Dalton Kilroe, and checking out here, actually, it's 0.6 of a second lead for Tyler Hilton. Those two are checking out though from third place, Michael Pratt, who has made his way through the field very early. Wow. Way too early for him. It's only lap 15 here, but he is up there in third place, 3 seconds behind our top two guys, and Brandon Meir, Robert Warrens rounding out your top five. Robert Kahn, Paleshi, Connolly, Blunt, and Tim Lee rounding out your top 10. Want to thank everybody out there for joining us here tonight for race number 10 here in the Virtual Velocity Racing ARCA series. If you haven't done so yet, hit that thumbs up, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and get you in touch with everything that Siren has to offer.
Yes, it was actually quite a surprise. I've left Michael Pratt alone. He's got insurance this week, so like he's trying to get there. But up 19 spots, obviously the biggest mover. A few others, obviously you thought you kind of hit them on the head there. Brandon Meir obviously up 10 spots. Tim Lee's up 7 spots from the start. So a lot of drivers moving forward, and some moving backwards. One that you talked about that's been pretty consistent. The 72 of Mike Hasty is down. He's down 10 spots. Ty Marasco, Gordon Larson Jr. Falling back just a little bit as well. So maybe they're saving. Maybe they're starting to get in that mode. Maxwell Caldwell, I'm kind of surprised there for the 94. How far back? Just having some troubles tonight. Down 9 spots back here in 21st, working his way around the track. And then Brian Rainville, always a good individual out there. He's usually in the chat. Yep, there he is. I had to look up. I usually get a message from him, whether he's chatting and driving, or I don't know how you do it, man. But the 60 looking pretty good out there. Let's get it to the front. Let's see. Graham Conley, here's somebody we haven't talked to. He's up 3 spots. Number 71 of Graham. Out there running around. We're on lap 19 of 110 already, Carl. So first 20 laps flying by here as Tyler Hilton is still out front by now a second over Dalton Kilroe. And then Michael Pratt I think he's closing in, to be honest. I am curious how he's doing, so I am going to do this for everybody. Nope, wrong one. Not the other one. This one. There we go. And you see how much Michael Pratt is gaining on Kilroe. And you see Brandon Meir doing the same.
Trying to get the overlays to work on my side for some reason. Issues here once again. Shocker. Yeah. But either way, it's a good one out here tonight, and it is Tyler Hilton now starting to actually stretch out a little lead here. 1.3 seconds at the front of this field over Dalton Kilroe in second. Michael Pratt, Brandon Meir, Robert Warrens for the top 5. Little battle back towards the back half of the top 10 as Tim Lee actually dropping back here a little bit, actually in a battle with Len McNeese for 9th and 10th position, but should be coming up, maybe not on pit stops just yet. I would think maybe around lap 30 we'll see so some guys starting to kind of feel the wear of these tires out here. You take a look on board here and you see down the backstretch not really a backstretch here at Chicagoland. If you're new to Chicagoland, the entire backstretch it's kind of curved from turn 2 to turn 3. And you never really get much of a break until you get onto the tri-oval here on the front. 2 little miniature straightaways here on this 1.5 mile tri-oval, or I mean, is it really a tri-oval? I mean, it's kind of 2 big turns, and then I should say 1 big turn from turn 1 to turn 4, and then the tri-oval part of it. So I'm not sure if it's really a tri-oval in the standard terms.
I would venture out to say it's an egg. A bad egg. But yeah, no real, no straightaways here at Chicagoland. So drivers, I mean, you can go straight. Obviously, you end up just coming out into the corner low, and you or come out high and cut across, and try to shorten the track just a little bit. But drivers doing everything they can to kind of race around here tonight. We were seeing a lot of too wide. I think everybody's pretty much singled out right now. Back up the camera here just a little bit. Take it out to the blimp here. You can see how they're kind of in line back here with Andrew Pileshi and the 71. Graham Conley, Robert Collins in front of them. Go back here again, single file. Hemi Gardini with the 76 of Mike Wright out in front of him. Actually, Gardini going for a move. Put the pressure
We did
on.
have a bit of an issue. I see Mike Hasty is now dead last. It looks like he went off track a couple laps ago, and not sure if that was what would send him all the way to the back. He qualified up there in 3rd. He was the one guy we were talking about, 5th place in the points coming into tonight. Qualified up there nicely, and just taking a little bit of a trip through the grass. Luckily for him, he doesn't get shot down into the pits, get any kind of penalty or anything like that. Got it back up on track. No worse for wear, but certainly lost a ton of ground, ton of positions. And unfortunately, he is down 19 positions from his starting spot. But how about this? Already on lap 27, our leader, Tyler Hilton, into the pits.
Yeah, Michael Taylor coming in as well. So pit stops kind of starting here. Lap 27. Are they going to make it to 30? I guess somebody that we know that likes to stretch out their fuel and fuel save, and that might be why Dalton Kilroe kind of, when he was starting to break away, decided to let up just a little bit, maybe to get that extra lap or 2. So maybe doing some fuel saving as maybe a little bit of a lighter field here. Got more people coming in. See Tim Lee, Michael Pratt, Brandon Muir.
71 there. Looks like Graham Connolly not exactly making pit road.
Check out the 71. Oh,
good job by Len McNeese avoiding him, but you see, just could not get that thing turned down in there. Tried to get in, had to lock it up. Hopefully that won't be an unsafe entry, but it looks like he ended up towing it back to pit lane from there. So that's going to be a rough one for the 71 of Graham Connolly. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of an odd number of laps here with 110, so you got to really try and figure out, really try and calculate, kind of what you want to do. You're not going to be able to make this thing on 3 stops. I mean, I don't think these drivers are going to be able to make it to 37 laps here. I think it'd be a bit of a stretch. So either way, you're going to be making it. But again, if this thing goes green, that last pit stop will be a lot shorter by just stretching out this fuel every single time you're out here on the run. As see Robert Warren's in and back out of the pits. The 5 there, Dalton or Derek Paulson coming out as well. Dalton Kilroe now into pit lane. See Mike Hasty in there. 61 of Chris Schuessler coming out of the pits here as well. Maxwell Caldwell is going to be your new leader for the time being. He is yet to come into the pits. The last one out there really stretching this fuel out, and he will make it to 30. So at least one person made it out there, and I mean, if he can stretch it out all 3 runs here, certainly give me a nice short pit stop on that last one, and basically taking about a half a tank when everybody else is going to be taking 3/4 or maybe even more. But you see how much slower he is compared to the field as he's going to make that left-hand turn down into pit lane. Got himself a lap lead, and now he is in to get some service.
yeah, I got that lap lead. Could use that for the points later on down the road here, and was having not a super great run as he was towards the back of the field. So obviously he's saving fuel, looking for that little bit longer game. But 30, 30, 30, another 30, another 30. It only takes you to 90. So he's got to get 20 laps, of fuel, vice 30 laps of fuel. So we'll see how the other individuals stretch this thing out for the rest of the race. But it does look like we have a complete cycle of green flag pit stops here tonight. And I'm sure that everybody out on the track is happy about that. Getting those green flag pit stops in is sometimes can be challenging and, frustrating, especially if you're one of the first people that come in. Excuse me, damn.
Well, a good one here so far, and love to see that these guys made it through their first pit stop cycle without any kind of incidents, and we're here running on lap number 32. Dalton Kilroe back out to the lead as he got a little bit better overall pit time than Tyler Hilton, but kind of surprised that he's already taken the lead. I'm not sure if Tyler Hilton had some issues or what, because Hilton came in as the leader. It didn't really have, that bad of a pit stop. Actually, a little bit quicker time in the pit box itself, but already out there in second place, and he pit 3 laps earlier, so maybe the overcut working a little bit better here tonight than the undercut, which it typically does. But we've got quite a bit of racing left to go here. Want to once again thank everybody out there for tuning in, but also want to thank our sponsors here for the series. And not going to mess them up this time. It is Fort Worth Screen Printing, Hilton Crafts and Designs, and Goldline Guardians for everything that they do here for the series. And obviously a shout out to Tim Lee as well, back there just out of the top 10 running here tonight. Good to have him in the field running with his mates. I'm sure he's happy to be out there.
Yeah, it's always good to have good runs for sure.
On the track, we're talking about on the track. Let's clear that up right now.
I'm not running anywhere anytime soon ever again if I don't have to. I've had my fair share of miles per week. Anywhere between 5 and 10. So I'm good. I've ran probably enough miles for most people. I'm not saying don't stay in shape, but round is a shape. So I'm not too offended.
And I resemble that 100%. I mean, it's my son and daughter for the organization that they're in. They have kind of like almost like a spring sports pep rally where they call all the teams out there. They call out all the players and the coaches and everything like that. I'm an assistant coach for my son's baseball team, his rookie ball team. I wasn't expecting to be in the mix of it, but the head coach, when he came walking by, he's like, "What are you doing? You got to be walking with us. Your name's up there." I'm like, "All right." So we go up there. Well, this is the first time we've actually been able to go there. We usually always have something going on, and I didn't realize there was like a whole parade line where the teams line up on 2 sides, and you actually go running through the middle. And I was hoping that the head coach would take a nice stroll through that and just give everybody a high five. No, he goes jogging through, and I'm like, well. Bumney and everything, I got to try and at least muscle my way through there and jog through. So, yeah, not fun. And it just reminded me of how much I'm on the bench as a coach, not out there playing in the field. And that's why I do, hobbies like this, like, broadcasting, like iRacing. I don't have to move anything other than my mouth and my feet. I can handle that. Although I do feel out of shape sometimes when we do endurance races. I'm sweating my what off when I get out after a double or triple stint. So say what you will.
I mean that's some hard work doing it. Well, speaking of that, that's coming up here very shortly. So any of the drivers out there listening, good luck with if you're going to do any of the endurance events or special events coming up. I think that the Indianapolis 500 is this week. So there'll be a bunch of drivers out attempting that, and I think that's over a 2-week spread as far as qualifying and all that stuff. So I think they're trying to do it somewhat legit. And then obviously the Nürburgring 24-hour, with the GT3s, the Porsche 992s, and the TCs are going to be all out there. And I don't know if GT4s are part of that, and splits or anything. I don't know, but plan on running the GT3s and see what we can do this year. Hopefully, we get another good finish. I'd love to podium and possibly win. It's a tall order, as there's a lot of people that love that track and practice and are very, very fast, and it's not very forgiving. But right now, the track being pretty forgiving here tonight. Dalton Kilroe and Tyler Hilton kind of well, Dalton Kilroe kind of out on his own right now. He's got a whopping 3-second lead over Tyler Hilton, and Tyler Hilton has about a half a second lead over Brandon Meir in that number 13. Robert Kahn back up there in P number 4. Andrew Pileshi sitting in 5th. So doing a great job up there. Robert Warren's trying to come back as well, as he slid back a few spots from the start. But, you know, long race, you know, and you start falling back and you kind of wonder, you know, do I need to push a little bit harder, or is my strategy going to work out tonight? So I think a lot of drivers are kind of going through those decision-making things right now, as they're trying to think long game because of how well the race is going. But one caution could throw this thing on its head and change everybody's mind up. You can see the 95 getting up in the marbles up there. I see a little smoke, or not smoke, but like dust and stuff flying around. So, but keeping control of that 95 as well.
Yeah, Kilroe out there all by himself, 4-second lead almost now at the front, but going to be a battle here pretty soon between second, third, and fourth, as Hilton, Meir, and Kahn all within about a half a second of each other. So we'll see what develops there. Just to get back to what Jimmy was mentioning, it is for anyone that's out there looking to do the special events, the fixed Indy setup is this weekend. The open setup is next weekend. Then you got the Coke 600 coming up the following week. But in between that, next week, you guys can have fun running your open setup Indy 500. We're going to have the CRN 300, the CRN Coke 300 here, broadcasted 300 miles at Charlotte with the 87 NASCARs. Still plenty of time to get your name in the hat, get your car out there, pick your car number, and get on it. It's going to be the 3rd annual running of it. The first 2 races were absolutely great. We loved broadcasting every minute of it, and looking forward to broadcasting another one here. Then you got the 4 hours of Thruxton, the first weekend in June, last weekend in May, first weekend in June. I don't think I'm going to be participating in that with the touring cars. Not really up to speed on those too much, let alone the Thruxton track. And then the following weekend, June 8th, is going to be that Nürburgring 24 that Jimmy was mentioning. GT3s, Porsche Cup, GT4s, and M2s this season. But I mean, that is that's just all about survival. You just got to try and figure out a way to survive, and we haven't survived yet. So we'll see how that thing plays out. But man, it's the one kind of notch in the belt that we yet to get. Daytona 24 win, Sebring 12, Bathurst. I'm not sure if we have a Bathurst 12 win or not, but
no,
Spa 24.
Top 3, I think from some people.
Yeah, Spa 24, but it's that Nürburgring 24 is just it's a bugaboo. But good racing here. We got yeah, it is absolutely. Lap 47 here that we'll start now with Dalton Kilroe in the lead. So about halfway through this second round of a fuel run here, and it is Kilroe, Kahn, Meir, Hilton back to 4th place now, McNeese up to 5th. Pileshi, Warnes, Paulson is now up into 8th. Marasco and Larson for your top 10. But looks like we still got 21 out of the 22 cars still running. Graham Connolly having that issue coming into the pits. Looks like he's called it a night since then. So still 21 cars out there, and kind of surprising here. Almost 50 laps into this race, everyone's still in the lead lap.
Yeah, everybody doing a fantastic job. Let's see, Dalton Kilroe is on just past the start-finish line, and the 98 is. No, he was on the backstretch. So the 98 passing the start-finish line now, and here comes Dalton Kilroe. Now passing the start-finish line. So about a quarter of the way. I think that everybody's. He'll be the first. 98's the first one in trouble. Mike Taylor. Back back there is Dalton Kilrow is on a mission to hopefully secure that win here tonight. So we'll go ahead and look out the back of Michael Taylor's car, and yeah, can't see Kilrow yet. So still a good length of ways as just see him way off, and he's in the track map right in the center there now. So he's still out there, but Dalton is definitely moving here tonight and looking good. So we'll see where he finishes.
Yeah, I feel like he's kind of taking this race, and he's like, you know what? I'm tired of trying to play strategy. I'm trying to figure out where I need to be, when I need to be there. I'm putting the bit between my teeth, and I'm just going after it. He's throwing any kind of caution to win. He's throwing any kind of strategies out there. He is just running hard. I mean, a good long run on the first one there. Did make it to lap 29, like a lot of his competitors did. So not exactly just going out there burning up fuel, but. Here I'm actually right there, maybe trying to do a little bit of fuel saving as well. Robert Kahn now in second place, as Brennan Muir is going to be coming into the pits here on lap 51, actually completion of lap 50. So maybe looking to just kind of split this race up into even numbers, as he's going to bring the number 13 here into the pits. So Robert Kahn now in second. He's about 3 seconds behind Dalton Kilrow, Len McNeese, Andrew Palesci, and Robert Warrens for that top 5.
Yeah, maybe Brandon's thinking, well, I'm not going to make it the rest of the way. I have to stop anyway. So, let's go out there, get some new tires, and try to do the undercut thing just a little bit here. So go in, you see that he took tires, and he's going to try to give it his best effort to use them as much as he can, and then when we were on board with Dalton, but you don't think he's not trying. Obviously he's keeping a good pace, but he's lifting and just letting that car just glide around the corners as easy as possible, saving that fuel, going to stretch it out. I would not be surprised if we see a 30 or 31 lap from out of that 41 here on this pit stop, and he's got a little bit of time to play with. He's got almost 3 seconds out there in front of P2 of Robert Kahn, so got a little time to play with. Obviously you can keep that time, and Dalton's been pretty good about his pit stops, and I'll knock on wood just in case I don't miss, but he's been getting in and getting out with kind of no problem, even throughout the season. That any bad finishes really wasn't. It's just wrong spot, the wrong time for the 41 for most cases. Obviously sitting pretty good in the points, but would be sitting better without a few of those bobbles or just bad incidences that he got himself wrapped up into. But I think we're starting to get into that area where we're going to start seeing more people come in. Tyler Hilton down into the pits now. Hilton Young has already made his down in his pit stop, so down there just waiting for fuel, getting ready to go, and the 38 is down on the way, the 02 is down on the way, and Dalton Kilrow is still out front. So go ahead, I'll pull up the tower so you guys can see the gap there in the middle, and that's from the leader to the back, and you can see that Tyler Hilton, Michael Taylor, Brandon Muir, and Hilton Young are all laps down, so Hilton Young being 2 laps down, but Tyler Hilton and Brandon Muir and Taylor are only 1 lap down, but they should be able to make their way around the leader if they're close enough. But I would think Dalton is going to probably stay out for at least 4 more laps, and possibly even 5.
Yeah, I mean, right now we are halfway through the race here, and a little bit over that right now. So 2 more pit stops for everybody out there in the field, at least. And right now you can come in at any time from here on out, and it's still going to be 1 more pit stop in the race. I don't think there's any way you can stretch it out and get as far as you need to make it on this last pit stop. It's absolutely impossible. Let's just put it that way. But the further again you can get on this run, the less fuel that you're going to have to take on that final pit stop, and that's where it could be paying big dividends. But I mean, it's all strategy again when it comes to the tires. I mean, you see all these guys that came in for this past pit stop, pretty much every one of them taking tires. Brian Rainville now ends a pit lane. He took tires on the first run, so not sure if he's going to take tires on this one or not. And that's kind of where it gets a little funny, a little wonky. If you're deciding that this thing, as our leader Dalton Kilmer now into the pits, if you're deciding that you're going to make this thing on 3 pit stops when you want to try and have a short last pit stop, you don't want to have to wait for tires. So, I mean, maybe the idea is you take tires on the first 2 pit stops and then no tires on that last one because you want it to be as short as possible. A lot of different ways to play it out, and that's why I enjoy the series that have a limited amount of tires and basically enough tires that you can't take tires on every single pit stop. You have to actually think about it a little bit and play a little strategy, and you can't just go balls to the wall on every single lap out there. But we are going to complete another pit stop for Dalton Kilrow. We still got a few cars that have yet to come in. It looks like Maxwell Caldwell, Eric Blunt have yet to come in to make their final pit, or their second pit stops. Now Maxwell Caldwell and Eric Blunt, of course, on cue, are going to come in to make their pit stop, but neither of them making 30 laps this time, as we're here completing lap number 59. I guess Maxwell Caldwell getting a 30 and then a 29 for his 2 runs, pretty good. But I'll tell you what, that 21 of Robert Kahn, he's got a little something he wants to tell Dalton Kilrow, and that's you're not just going to walk away with this race. What a run up to close up to the 41. Cannot get past them just yet as they'll battle down the backstretch. They got Len McNeese in front of them. We'll see if Kahn tries to use McNeese as a bit of a pick, but may actually go the other way. Now it looks like Kilrow's going to have to tuck in behind, maybe try a little crossover off the corner. But now Robert Kahn is going to take over what is ultimately going to be first place in this race. But the reason it's not first place, Brandon Muir, when he made that early pit stop on lap number 50, he is out to a 4.5 second lead on this pack. Now they're going to be closing in on him pretty quickly here, but that's what the differing strategy can do for you.
Yeah, major undercut from the 13, and obviously was able to utilize them tires and make up those that time. But now it's for the other drivers to do their job and take their newer tires and catch back up to them and possibly get around them. But in that amount of time, 4 seconds, you can push them tires pretty hard, and with the laps being about 30 seconds, maybe making up a half a second, you're really going to burn the heck out of your tires if you're not careful. Excuse me.
I think what we'll do is we'll sit back just like the viewing audience out there and enjoy this rundown here to see if Robert Kahn and Dalton Kilrow can run down Brandon Muir here at the front, as Kilrow has retaken second place, running the fastest lap of the race, a 30.72 that last time by, as they're digging, trying to catch up to this 13. But we'll go ahead and crank these drivers up here at the Chicagoland Speedway under the lights. Give everyone out there in Sierra Nation a little love to hear it.
Love to hear it.
Sights and sounds here at Chicagoland with the Virtual Velocity Racing League. Man, they're just having a fun time out there. It's been green from the start. We're on lap 82 of 110. Your leader is Dalton Kilroe by 9/10 of a second over Robert Kahn. Robert Warren sitting there, just took up back into Pete, number 3. Andrew Pileshi sitting in 4th. Derek Paulson up 11 spots in Pete, number 5. Just dropped to Pete, number 6. As Ty Marasco worked his way around him. They've been battling for the past few laps. Len McNeese is in 7th. Gordon Larson is now in 7th as he passed Len McNeese. And then Maxwell Caldwell in 9th. Eric Blount's in 10th. Tim Lee almost in that top 10, sitting in Pete, number 11. Brian Rainville up to 12th. Nobody go. Mike Hasty up there in 13th. Mike Rideouts in 14th. Hemi Gardini in 15th. Michael Taylor in 16th. Michael Pratt back there in 17th. Chris Schuster, Brandon Meir, and Tyler Hilton for all your cars on the lead lap. I believe Hilton Young, yeah, he's one lap down, but you got a couple of drivers as you see on the tower. They are one lap down. Mike Hasty, Mike Rideout, Gary Dini, Pratt, Schuster, Meir, and Taylor and Hilton all one lap down. Young is 2 laps down. You can see right now we are in the pit window, and Ty Marasco, Paulson, McNeese, and Taylor all in the pits right now. So maybe trying to get the undercut in here late, as this is their last opportunity to get that in. But you see tires going on a few of those vehicles, as they're taking fuel. So whether they take 2 or 4, it's up to the drivers, obviously. But down and away goes a few of these drivers now. They're leaving the pits. You got a few more coming in. Colin Larson, Pileshi, all coming in as well. So stretching it out, trying to do what they need to do. Now it's up to some of these drivers up front, how they want to execute their remaining laps. Obviously, they're able to stay out. Do I stay out because we've been going green so long, or should I wait and somebody like caution comes late? But right now, got cars coming out, cars going in. Tim Lee's in, Rainville's in, Gardini's in, Pratt's in. Right there you see Larson going in. So definitely another set of green flag pit stops here at Chicagoland, and I'm sure these drivers are loving it here, as they haven't had the big one as they did last week at Talladega. But Kilroe is now in, so your leader now coming in doesn't want to get that undercut. Plenty of time. You can 25 laps to go. Well, 24 laps as he crosses the line right now. So he'll be able to take a full tank of fuel and new tires if he wants, and be plenty to go the rest of the way. Just where he comes out is going to obviously up to how well he executed that pit stop. Looked pretty good on my end. But right now it's Maxwell Caldwell. He's going to stay out and try to run this a little bit longer. It was out or came in at lap 59. He can go all the way to probably at least 90 or close to it. Even 30, 31 laps, but he's not gonna. Oh no! We gotta slow down. And he fell Maxwell Caldwell. Getting a little sidewells right
pressing his luck. Pressing his luck there a little bit, and these drivers are in rarefied air for this season. I don't think, knock on wood, and I'm sure I'm going to jinx it here, I don't think they've had a caution-free race this season. You look at last week, they had 6 cautions. The week before that, 7 cautions. The week before that at Nashville Superspeedway, they had 13 cautions. Now that they did have some good races, like at Charlotte, the one before that, they only had 1 caution, and single cautions here and there throughout the season. But this has been green from the drop here, and it is down to 22 laps to go at the line. Robert Kahn looking to become a 3-time winner here this season, and looking to try and close that gap back up to Dalton Kilroe in the points. But Kilroe's looking to close that gap up here in the race. He is 7/10 of a second behind Robert Kahn, trying to keep him within check here, trying to get as far into this race as possible before he falls by the wayside here. They've all made their last pit stop of the race. The only one that is a bit of a question, Brandon Muir right now in 5th place, pit on lap number 77. Going to be a bit of a stretch to make it all the way to the end. About 33 laps there for Brandon Muir. Maybe going to need a caution to try and get him to the end, but it's been a heck of a good race here. I mean, one flag, and that's the green. That's all we've seen here, and just waiting now. 20 laps to go at the line. Want to thank everyone out there again for tuning in. I mean, this is good racing at its best, and that's why we gave you a little extension there on the love to hear it. Great sounds, great sights here on the lights here in Chicagoland.
Yeah, and especially with a track that's no longer available to go to the public. So we can bring it to you live here on via Iracing with the Virtual Velocity Racing League here tonight, and it's good to get out here and get it while they can. I mean, it's not going all away from the service by any means, but definitely you won't see any updates or anything to it. This is the way it will be until maybe it hits legacy mode and ends up getting put in a back folder somewhere. But they do still run. I think they run some official races here. And you could tell it puts on some great racing. The drivers were able to get around here pretty easily tonight. 2 wide. I didn't see many 3 wides. I think there was a couple, but able to go 3 wide if you have to, and with some smart heads-up driving from some of the drivers themselves, easily can be done here. So, a good run so far here tonight. 18 laps to go here at Chicagoland, and Robert Kahn is your leader.
I mean, can't say enough for all these drivers out here. Still got 20 cars out there on the track. Looks like Brian Rainville not going to finish this one as well, calling it quits on lap number 85. But we still got 20 cars out there and all doing a fantastic job. I mean, it's been a heck of a pace out there. Robert Kahn is the one that is doing the pacing, but not by much. It is a quarter second now. Back to Dalton Kilrow in second. We got a battle for third between Andrew Pileshi, Robert Warnes right there side by side. Tim Lee in the mix there, not for position there. Unfortunately, he's back in 14th, but he is doing a little battling himself with Michael Pratt right there in the 77 battle for position. Tyler Hilton now into the pits, giving up 11th position coming in right now. This is going to be certainly the last pit stop for Tyler Hilton, but this is going to put him on the back foot for sure. 16 laps to go. Down the backstretch they come, and it is getting closer and closer.
And Dalton just kind of reeling them in here for hopefully for a fantastic ending here. And you wonder how much Robert Kahn is driving that rear view mirror? Well, we'll go back and look back for you. What he's looking at as that 41 stares down the 21, trying to make the pass. This is back from the 21 of Robert Kahn, and we'll flip it around here from Dalton Kilroe's point of view, looking forward. So definitely on that the beer bumper. The rear bumper of the 21, and now shoots down to the inside to make a move for the lead, but Robert Kahn holds strong on the outside right now.
Making me thirsty over here in the booth, but yeah, it's gonna be a battle right now because that outside line has got some good drive out of the corner and even got some good grip through the corner. You see Robert Kahn not exactly going away at all, sliding all the way up to the wall though, a little bit maybe tight going through 1 and 2 right there. Kilroe gonna get right alongside, a little side draft and keep that 21 up as high as possible. Maybe gonna try a bit of a slide job. Now he's gonna keep it down towards the bottom, but now glides up in front of the 21 there of Kahn. Kilroe back up to the lead, and he's looking for his second win of the season to try and match Kahn and try and, as both these guys try and reel in Andrew Pileshi at the top of the points. But Pileshi having another good run out here in third place. It looked like Kahn maybe in the wall there a little bit just as we cut away, but Pileshi now stretching away in third. He's a little bit too far back to make any kind of run right now at these top two, as Kahn and Paulson Kilroe have definitely been the class in the field.
Yeah, definitely doing a fantastic job, and just trying to get it done here tonight. It's not easy as a league to put on like the perfect race, the green to green, and it's pretty challenging here, obviously, and but they've executed it here, and I think some people have had made mistakes, but not big enough mistakes to get penalized or have the field come to caution. 12 laps to go here, Chicagoland. Dalton Kilrow is now your leader, and Robert Kahn following. So, will Robert Kahn have enough car to get back up to that number 41?
I think it's definitely going to be tough for Kahn to kind of regather. It seems like Kilrow has got the car to beat here tonight. He's led a bunch of laps throughout this race, and it looked like for a second there maybe Kahn had the better of him on the strategy here at the end, but Kilrow has reeled him in and is now walking away. 10 laps to go here at Chicagoland. Kilrow looking to round into to mid-season form. Well, at mid-season here, as this is again race number 10 of 22 for the season here at the beautiful Chicagoland Speedway. Next week we head to me and Jimmy's one of two favorite tracks here on the service, and that is Michigan International Speedway, and hoping to see some great racing out there. Hoping to see the field filled back up. I know we're missing a few drivers out here tonight, including the birthday boy. We'll give him a shout out again because I'm sure he's out there watching. Let's be honest. What else is he gonna do? I mean, birthdays are nice, but CRN's on. You got to put CRN on the
I haven't seen
the TV,
on
the phone, whatever it is.
Text come across yet.
Well, he's maybe sitting back with a few beverages, and maybe doesn't want to slur any kind of words if that's what the case is. But we got 9 to go here. Kilrow looking very good.
Yeah, Kilrow looking good with 9 laps to go. He's the 13 in the wall trying to let the 41 by. And I know a lot of people kind of get like excited, or they try to do the right thing and just get out of the way. But Mir was fast, had a pretty decent car, but not what he needed for the end of the night here. As Brandon Mir is back in 11th place, so not too bad still.
Laps ticking down mighty quickly here, and yeah, I mean, you mentioned an all green race, green to checker race is something that I'm sure there's a lot of drivers in the race that needed a caution, needed something to break their way to get back in the mix of this. So they might not be fully happy that the thing goes green to checkered, but for the most part, most of the league and even some of those drivers that needed that caution, it's kind of feather in the cap to run 110 laps here completely green all the way. And really, we've seen races go green for a while and have some mishaps that maybe could have been cautioned, that drivers go through the grass or maybe go down and hit the inside wall, but since it's off the racing surface, iRacing doesn't throw a caution. We've seen I think one incident tonight where we've seen Mike Hasty got shot down through the infield grass. Other than that, really no incidents to speak of. I mean, it's been absolutely phenomenal out here, and it's all a tribute to these drivers out here. They're doing a great job, and they only got to do it for 5 more laps.
Speaking of Mike Hasty, he's up there in P number 11. After that trip through the grass, we figured, might be down just a little bit farther. Obviously not where he was at the start, but to get back up into almost the top 10 after an incident like that, and especially staying green flag, that's pretty dang good.
Yeah, I mean, he was close to being a lap down pretty much from the start of this race, and for a while it looked like he might have been the first car lap down, but you see where he is in relation to the 41 there on the track map. He's really not that far behind, and kind of in running order, he's third in the running order, so you wonder what could have been, but it kind of goes back to what I said in the beginning of the race. He's quietly up there in 5th in points, and it's runs like this that keeps him right up there. He's maybe not getting the wins, not getting those podiums to get up here and have a chat with us, but he's doing what it takes to get some good points and some solid runs week in and week out.
Yeah, and that's what the best you can do. If you're not one of those drivers that can battle every single week for a win, maybe it's not your favorite track, maybe you're still getting used to the car, etc. But you can see the 13 of Brandon Mir having to haul down that 13 into the pits here with only 3 laps to go. And as painful as that is, truly been there, and I've had to do that. So sorry for the 13 of Brandon Muir. Gonna lose a few spots to the field because it's just field strategy and the way that he executed his strategy, maybe not working out the best for his situation here tonight. But Dalton Kilroe coming across the line, he should get still got 2 left to go.
He's going into turn 3 right now. Yeah, so I'll get the white flag this time by. But yeah, riding on board here with Ty Marasco. He's another one that he's got the speed every race, and he's led just about every race. I think this is the only one maybe this season that we haven't seen that number 1 out front at least for a lap, but having a great run right now, just getting past Eric Paulson, moving himself up into the top 5. But this is the man that they're all watching at the top of the boards. Dalton Kilroe down the back curve, stretch, whatever you want to call it. Either way, he's heads into turn number 3 for the final time. And the VVR going to go green to checkered here tonight. 110 laps under the lights. Dalton Kilroe going to be the first one celebrating here tonight. He is your winner here at Chicagoland. Robert Kahn, a great run, coming home in second. Andrew Pileshi, definitely not a disappointment for the points leader, coming home in third here tonight. Robert Warren's not too far behind him, a good solid 4th place finish. Ty Marasco, love to see it, coming home in here for a top 5 and getting a little love from the 5 of Derek Paulson teammates there for MFRD, and I think just took another car out in the process, but luckily it was after the to the checker flag. Looks like Tyler Hilton got caught up in that mess, but heck of a run from these drivers. I mean, standing ovation out there, well deserved. Great drive from everybody, and we got a green to checkered race here for VVR. Jimmy, why don't you give us a rundown of tonight's finishing order while Dalton Kilroe burns it down on the front stretch, and we'll get these guys in here for their well-deserved interviews.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and go down a finishing order here. Obviously, know that the winner here tonight was Dalton Kilroe and a number 41. So if you guessed 41 to win tonight, he is your winner. And so the rest of the field is as follows. Second place will be Robert Kahn in number 21, and Andrew Pileshi in number 81 in third. We will talk to them here shortly. Robert Warrens, Ty Marasco, and Derek Paulson, Gordon Larson, Len McNeese, Maxwell Caldwell, and Eric Blount for your top 10. Mike Hasty comes back and finishes in 11th quietly. As he kind of sailed off into the sunset over the grass, but definitely came back for a good solid finish. Tim Lee is going to finish in 12th here tonight. Mike Rideout's in 13th. Hemi Garadini's in 14th. Michael Pratt coming from the back, even getting out to the front to lead for a little bit, but finishes in 15th here tonight. Tyler Hilton in 16th. Chris Schuessler in 17th. Mike Taylor is going to be in 18th. And I've got a few more cars here to share with you all tonight. Brandon Muir is going to finish in 19th. He had to take a late pit stop in order to make sure they had enough fuel to stop or make it the rest of the way. Hilton Young, Brian Rainville, and Graham Conley for your 22 car field here at Chicagoland.
Just waiting for these drivers to hop into the booth, but while we have some time, I want to once again thank our sponsors here for the series, that being Fort Worth Screen Printing, Golden Line Guardians, and Hilton Crafts and Designs. I want to thank all the fans out there for tuning in here tonight. This was a good one and a bit of a quick one as well, as this thing flew by 110 laps very, very quickly here under the lights, and only just looks like a smidge over an hour of racing. So great drive from everyone out there. Looks like we got 2 of the 3, and we'll grab the last one in there, and we'll throw him into the booth whether he wants to be in there or not. But go ahead and start our interviews here tonight, and we got 3 good ones here. As the first one we'll bring in here is going to be our 3rd place finisher, the 81 of Andrew Pileshi. Andrew, I guess kind of the best of the rest here tonight, maybe not having exactly the pace to keep up with those top 2 guys, but you come in here as the points leader after a survival at Talladega. So either way, a podium has got to feel good here points-wise.
Yeah, it feels pretty good. It was the best I could hope for. These mile and a half, man, the fuel strategy and stuff like that, they're kind of weird. So I know Dalton Williams really good at it. Robert Kahn was fast as hell. So yeah, I was just trying to. my only goal tonight was to beat Warren's. So we got that done.
just barely as he comes on right behind you there. But yeah, I mean, another good finish here, another podium. It's another good run for you, and it's going to help you out with the points as you get closer. One more race before you guys get the official halfway, as you guys have off next week, and then back to Michigan, Indy, and Texas before you guys have your summer break. So and only 1 mile and a half in there with Texas. How do you feel about Michigan, Indy, and Texas?
Oh, I love Michigan. Indy's one of my favorites. I don't know which Texas we're doing, but I like them both, so yeah, it'll be interesting. As long as I'm very confident I can fight for a win in any of those. I just got to get these fuel strategy, when to push, when not to push things right. But I'm getting better at it. This is my best performance at that yet tonight. So
yeah, you had a good run here tonight. I mean, obviously a good qualifying effort up there on the second row and fourth, and finish up in third. So you're up there in the mix and the battle, at least on speed, so you don't have to worry about that at all. So congrats again on the podium here tonight. Before we let you go, who you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Oh, yeah. Shout out to my teammates. Todd couldn't make it tonight, but Maxwell Caldwell. I had my buddy Austin Call kind of running crew chief for me tonight. Helped out a lot. Tim, Frost in the league, Robert, Dalton, all them guys for racing great. I mean, Robert raced the shit out of each other there. After that pit stop, it was fun. And you guys up in the booth. I said earlier my only goal was to beat Robert, but you always know my goal is to at least finish there.
Yeah, come over and talk to us. We got it. I mean, it's goes without saying. Well, let's be honest. Congrats on talking to us for another week, and we'll let you go celebrate this one, have a week off, see if you can figure out some strategy in the meantime, and then maybe we'll see you up here in the booth again at Michigan.
Yes, sir. Hope to see you.
That is your third place finisher here tonight, the 81 of Andrew Pileshi. Second place here tonight, coming up just one spot short, but a run from the 21 of Robert Kahn.
Hey, Robert, Jimmy, and Carl up in the booth. You copy?
Yeah, how you doing, guys?
Hey, not too bad. Had a pretty decent run here tonight. Looks like you had a very fast number 21 and had it maybe figured out, but bested by the 41 just by a little bit here tonight. But still a great finish. Coming in P2. Obviously a good race here for the league, going green from start to finish. Give us a little rundown on how everything was out there for you tonight. Why it was so clean.
It was good. It was definitely much needed. I think we had last couple of races we've had some hiccups and a couple cautions, but excuse me. Yeah, it was a good one. I tried pulling a little pit strategy at the end by pitting a little early, and I thought I could get a little bit more of a lead than what I would have on Dalton coming out of the pits. But when I passed him and was only able to get like a half a second on him, I knew it was just a matter of time. So at that point, I just started driving the hell out of that thing and see how far I could get ahead. So getting P2, man, I can't complain about that. Dalton was fast, Andrew was fast. Top 5 was all pretty close. It was just a matter of pit strategy.
Yeah, it's something how no matter how fast you are, sometimes that pit strategy can really bite you. Executing it to perfection. The entry, the slowing of the car down, you time down pit lane, getting it stopped and not overshooting a box. There's so many things that can go wrong for a driver in a pit stop, but you're able to do a pretty good job out of here tonight. You did execute it very well. You did come here, finish in second in a very strong field out there with this league here of VVR. But so from CRN and everybody else out there, we want to say congratulations and also give you some time for any shouts you might have at number 21.
I don't have much of a shout out. You guys mainly. You guys do a hell of a job on the broadcast, and then VVR, man. I know we had a rough couple weeks, but this is what the league's about. This is a hell of a race, and all the admins do a really good job at promoting it and putting on a good show. So.
Well, again, we wish you the best of luck. Thanks for the shout outs, of course, and we will go ahead and see you. I think we get a week off, or do we race again next week?
Week off and then Michigan.
Yeah.
We get 1 week off, and then we'll see you at Michigan.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Yep, later.
That is your second place finisher here tonight. The 21 of Robert Kahn. Winner here tonight, and actually got to make a correction. There's third
Pit
win
stop.
on the season for Dalton Kilrow, the 41 here, as he's kind of been a bit dominant here on the mile and a half as of late. Obviously, winning your first race at Charlotte, going back to back at Nashville, and now you come here tonight at Chicagoland. 3 1.5 miles. Check, check, and check.
Yeah, the Chicagoland's always been a really good track for me. I mean, I'm pretty good at the mile and a halves just based off experience, but out of all of them, I'd say Chicagoland's my best. I just always find something here. I don't know exactly what it is, but something just clicks right up in the brain, and I just go for it.
Well, early on, the first run there, you let Hilton kind of get on by you. You didn't really put up much of a fight. You let him walk away from you a little bit. Was that all the plan? Where you just this is my strategy, this is what I'm sticking to, and I'm worried about the long game?
Yeah, I knew there was a very good chance that that Hilton was going to probably burn his stuff up a little. Plus, I also knew by him running that high line, he was going to have to pit a lot earlier than me because he was just going to burn up his fuel. Because I knew if you could go 28, maybe 29 laps of fuel run, you'd be comfortable to push towards the end when you actually did take tires. And running that top line, you kill your stuff. So I knew I was just going to be faster than him on the second run. I didn't expect to get out of the pits ahead of him, but hey, I took it. I extended the gap and then just had a hell of a battle with Robert Kahn there for the win. So glad to have a good fight with somebody that we've been working with, and just made it interesting.
Yeah, that was kind of the biggest shock of the race for me too. Is when you and Tyler made your first pit stops, and then all of a sudden, I mean, he pit 3 laps before you. Typically, the short pit is king here, and it gets you a little bit of a gap. But it was actually you that came out in front, so it was kind of strange. But it was one less battle that you had to worry about here tonight. But you did have a heck of a battle with Robert there at the end. He had a bit of a gap on you, and even that second run there seemed like he was showing a little bit of speed. Was he kind of your main competition here tonight, the main one you were worried about?
Yeah, I was worried about both the Roberts, if I'm being honest, because you never know exactly what Warrens will be able to come up with. But he still had a good race. I think he finished fourth, either fourth or third. I don't really remember. I just know I was fighting Kahn.
Yeah, finished up there in fourth. Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, both of them were pretty good. The gap that Robert Kahn had on me after the last pit stop, that's the true undercut. But because we took fuel on the first stop, that's why Tyler didn't stay ahead of me. Because normally when it's a fuel only stop like that, if you just take it easy, like too easy into the pits, that's where you lose all your time, regardless of whether you pit 3 laps before somebody or not. So he just took it too easy getting in and out of the pits, and that's just another kind of strength of mine, is getting in and out of the pits that's as fast as I really can without overdoing it. And that was obviously good enough to get around him and not have to worry about him.
So obviously, defending champion, we talked a lot about it, and it talked about kind of your struggles to start off the season before you finally got that first win. But now, 3 out of the last 5 races, you come out there on top of the boards, and certainly making your way up the points as you come into tonight in third. But I mean, for the first 9 races, you guys had 7 different winners. You were only one of 2 drivers. You and Robert Kahn picking up 2 wins, and now you get your third one here tonight. How tough is it out there this season compared to last? Just, I mean, it seems like it's a lot more variables, a lot more drivers that are up there in the mix.
Yeah, I definitely think a lot of guys out here are starting to get a better grasp of how this car is going to handle. I mean, I'm surprised some of them are taking a little bit longer to get it because this car has been out for so long. But just from running it so much, some guys are finding speed. Like I know normally John Garrett's good on short run. Obviously Tyler Hilton, Brandon Meir, Michael Pratt. All those guys are very good on short runs, and all the cautions and stuff that end up happening throughout the race just magnify the whole short run speed that they have, and they don't really have time to burn the stuff off and just kind of fall back. So I think that has definitely kind of helped earlier in the season, but now that we kind of been cleaning it up and having these races that go flag to flag and no caution, those with the slightly slower short run speed, but the much faster long run speed are starting to prevail.
Yeah, I mean, how good does that feel for you guys? I'm not sure if you had one this season yet, looking back through a bunch of the races. I mean, you had Charlotte back there that you only had one caution, but to get a caution-free race, I know it's been joked a little bit by Tim there in the Discord that he gave you guys a bit of a pep talk, but how good does it feel to finally click one of these things off? I mean, you guys seem to get it almost weekly last year.
Yeah, that definitely feels good to get back to the caution-free form. I know there were less drivers out here tonight than I think we normally have. I think we only had, 22? So it was not as many cars on the track, so that probably played into it just a little bit. But I think with just how Chicagoland is, it gets spread out very quickly. So if anything happens, it's a single car incident, and they might just go off into the grass or something. It's not like they're going to cause a pile up like Talladega or at something like a short track, but hey, we got it. The 22 of us got it, so we got to try to keep that up next week or next time we race at Michigan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, off next week, but then unfortunately for you, no more mile and a halves for a few weeks. We got in Michigan and Annapolis coming up here. So
hey,
how do you feel about the bigger boys?
Those are two of my favorite tracks as well. Like I literally say this all the time, but a lot of these tracks that are the larger tracks that are actually, some people don't really like them as much. I love them. Like Indy's where I got my first league win in like 2019, and then Michigan always run well there. MFRD always runs well there, so we expect to have the same kind of performance as we did tonight. So I'm confident for the next few races as long as I can keep the car clean and not crash out.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that we haven't really seen too much since last season. That's MFRD up there dominating the top 3, the top 5 up there. So we'll see what you guys can do. But I mean, not even at the halfway point. You got one more race before you click off through the first half. But heck of a way to kind of start running into to mid-season form here. So 3 wins out of the last 5. Congrats on that. Congrats on the win tonight. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Well, we've already talked about them. I got to thank MFRD. Again, we all run well together. Robert Kahn, obviously, he's been working with us and racing with us. So thanks to him for obviously putting on a good battle and staying clean. Got to thank VVR for putting the league on. Everybody on the admin team for helping make the league what it is. You guys are doing the broadcast for us. Fort Worth Screen Printing, Hilton Crafts and Designs, and Gold Line Guardians.
All right, buddy. Well, congrats again. Take the week off, celebrate here a little bit, and then we'll see you out there in Michigan 2 weeks from now.
Sounds good, man. Thank you.
That is your winner here tonight. 3rd win on the season for the 41 of Dalton Kilroe. And yeah, this is not, I don't think, what a lot of the league wants to see, as that 41 is starting to get a feel for it here a little bit, just like he did last season, as he cranked off a bunch of wins last season on his way to the championship. So hopefully everyone can keep pace, and I don't doubt that they will, as we've had, again, even though it's another multi-winner here tonight with Dalton Kilroe picking up his 3rd win, still 70% new winners week in and week out here, as 7 wins are from different drivers in the first 10 races of the season. Again, week off next week. Enjoy your time off. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there for this upcoming weekend, as well as we'll see you guys and gals in 2 weeks at Michigan. But for myself and Jimmy here in the CRN booth at the Chicagoland Speedway, we'll see you at the track.
Peace.